Imagine walking through the hot, dry hills near the Nile River. The sun is shining on Yellowstone cliffs, and the air is still. Suddenly, a team of workers begins to dig. The ground is hard, but they keep going. Hours pass. Then someone finds something unusual: steps carved into the rock. The workers dig more carefully now. At the bottom of the steps, they find a sealed doorway. Carved on the door are symbols, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. No one has opened this door in over 3,000 years. Behind it, they believe, is the entrance to a pharaoh's tomb. This is the Valley of the Kings, one of the most famous places in the history of archaeology. The Valley of the Kings is a hidden burial site for many ancient Egyptian pharaohs and nobles. It is located near the city of Thebes, now called Luxor, on the west side of the Nile. The valley is surrounded by cliffs and desert. From the outside, it looks quiet and empty, but under the surface are more than 60 tombs, carefully carved into the hills. These tombs were made for kings, queens, and powerful people of the New Kingdom, which lasted from about 1550 to 1070 BCE. The tombs were filled with treasures, gold jewelry, statues, beds, chariots, food, and clothes, everything a ruler might need in the afterlife. Beautiful paintings covered the walls, showing gods, goddesses, and the journey to the next world. Each tomb was meant to stay hidden forever. But time, robbers, and nature changed that. Many tombs were looted or damaged over the centuries. Still, some secrets stayed buried until modern explorers came looking. In the early 1800s, people from Europe became very interested in ancient Egypt. This time is called the beginning of classical Egyptology. Artists, travelers, and treasure hunters arrived, hoping to see the great pyramids, statues, and temples. Some were scientists, others just wanted adventure. One of the first people to explore the Valley of the Kings was an Italian named Giovanni Belzoni. He was strong, clever, and curious. In 1817, he discovered the tomb of Pharaoh Seti I. It was one of the longest and most beautifully decorated tombs in the valley. Inside, he found colorful wall paintings and carvings that helped people learn more about ancient Egyptian religion. More archaeologists followed. Over time, the valley became one of the most studied places in Egypt. But one of the greatest discoveries came later, in 1922. That year, a British archaeologist named Howard Carter made history. Carter had been working in Egypt for years and believed there was still an undiscovered tomb in the valley. He was looking for the tomb of a boy king named Tutankhamun, or King Tut. Tutankhamun ruled Egypt when he was very young, and he died when he was only about 18 years old. He wasn't one of the most powerful pharaohs, but his tomb had never been found. Many experts thought it didn't exist anymore. But Carter kept searching. Finally, his workers found the top of a staircase hidden under rocks and debris. As they dug, they found a sealed doorway. Carter called for his sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, to come and see. When they opened a small hole and looked inside, Carter said he saw wonderful things. And he did. Inside the tomb were golden statues, chariots, beds, boxes, food, and games. In the center was a golden coffin holding the mummy of King Tut. It was the first time a nearly untouched royal tomb had ever been found. The world was amazed. Newspapers printed pictures of the treasures. Museums told the story of the discovery. King Tut became famous around the world. Even though he was a small king in history, his tomb helped teach people everywhere about ancient Egypt. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb showed what a pharaoh's burial was really like. It also reminded archaeologists to be careful. Instead of just grabbing treasures, they needed to study and protect everything they found. This idea became more important as Egyptology grew into a real science. Not all early Egyptologists were men. One very important woman was Amelia Edwards. She wasn't a digger, but she was a writer and traveler who fell in love with Egypt. She wrote a book called 1,000 Miles Up the Nile, which made people excited about ancient Egypt. More importantly, she helped start the Egypt Exploration Fund in 1882. This group supported proper, careful archaeology, not treasure hunting. She encouraged women to join the field and supported archaeologists like Flinders Petrie, who became one of the most careful and scientific excavators of his time. Thanks to people like Amelia Edwards, Flinders Petrie, Howard Carter, and others, the Valley of the Kings became not just a place of mystery, but a place of learning. The walls of the tombs taught scholars how the Egyptians viewed life and death. The objects inside showed how people lived, what they ate, what they wore, and what they believed. Even the layout of the tombs helped scientists understand how ancient builders worked in tough rocky hills. Today, archaeologists are still working in the valley. They use new tools like ground scanning radar and 3D mapping to find and study tombs without harming them. Some tombs are still being cleaned, and new discoveries are made every year. Visitors from around the world come to see the valley and walk through tombs where pharaohs were once laid to rest. The Valley of the Kings reminds us that ancient Egypt was full of wonder, art, belief, and care for the afterlife. But it also shows the power of curiosity. The people who explored the valley, some carefully, some not, helped uncover stories that had been buried for thousands of years. They showed that history is not just about kings and battles, but about asking questions, solving puzzles, and learning from the past.